Welcome to Vista Talks Tech. My name is Nathan Cook. I'm here with Solutions Architect Phil Koster with Vista IT Group. Today, what we want to talk to you guys about is what's happening out in the hypervisor world, right? Broadcom acquisition of VMware over the last few months have got a lot of people thinking, is this the money I want to invest in VMware? What are some other alternatives? And our goal today is to help you answer some of those questions. So real quick, Phil, why don't you quick introduce yourself?
Yeah, thanks, Nate. Again, my name's Phil Koster, Solutions Architect here at Vista. I've been in the IT industry a little over 25 years, VMware certified professional, Microsoft certified in virtualization, and I'm just here to help answer some questions.
Awesome. So I know you're a smart guy, right? But can you explain a little bit again, just what's happening in the marketplace? Why are we having this conversation?
Yeah, so everybody's familiar with the Broadcom acquisition of VMware at this point, and when Broadcom acquired VMware, they decided to accelerate a lot of VMware's future plans, like eliminating perpetual licensing and moving to a subscription model. That change has increased licensing costs for a lot of people, but they also eliminated a lot of the packages that they were offering and consolidated down to 4 primary offerings that bundle solutions together. So there's a lot of people where the products don't fit, or they're finding themselves with a drastically increased licensing costs.
Yeah, absolutely. We've seen that a lot, and I've seen prices even go up 3 to 4x, sometimes even more on some of the renewal quotes. So, what should I think about if as I go through that journey of should I continue with VMware? Should I look at all their alternatives? Because I mean, there's a lot of different solutions out there, but where do I start?
Yeah, so the first place everybody should start is figuring out what you really need. Much like buying a new car, you have to figure out what you need it to do, what you want it to do, and what are you willing to pay for that's a little above and beyond.
Absolutely. So what are some of those factors that you have to look into that would help me make that decision?
Yep, so first and foremost, of course, is cost. The subscription licensing plans have increased costs, but there's also some indirect factors that go into that as well. And you need to think about what other solutions compare to what you actually need. What are those features? And you need to look at what other integrations you have from other third-party products. And finally, you need to think about what's it going to take to put this solution in.
Absolutely. So I mean, cost is the big one because every business cares about that, right? Other than like the initial sticker price of what you're seeing for any renewal quotes or upgrades, any of that stuff, what are some of the underlying costs that I may not be thinking about that I should keep in consideration as we go on this journey?
Yeah, one of the biggest ones outside of the direct licensing costs is where you're at in your hardware life cycle. If you've just recently purchased new hardware that hasn't depreciated yet, maybe you're still in a lease or a financing option, and so you haven't even paid off the old hardware yet. There's also the costs related to the third-party products, if those aren't going to be supported. And just like the car analogy, there's different aspects in the financing world. I'm not on the sales side though, Nate, you've been on that side more, so you know a lot more about how to make money work.
Yeah, maybe, we'll see. But one of the things we've seen a lot of vendors and partners do is they're looking at finding ways that they can, get you in their ecosystem, right? So they're heavily discounting products. I've heard people buying out VMware licensing, buying back equipment if they're an appliance-based system. And I guess a little shameless plug for our sister company is they do a lot of ITAD and buyback. So we can actually take some of that equipment and turn it into cash for the next thing that you're looking at doing, right? So, outside of the cost here, one of the things you talked about was the interoperability, which is one of my favorite words, and I think it's the first time I said it right. So, but interoperability, how does that play in as a key factor in what you're looking to accomplish?
Yeah, so VMware doesn't make everything, and you have to make sure that whatever solution you're going to go to next is going to support the solutions that your company needs to use, or that you have accounted for having to migrate to another solution. Things like your backup software, if you're doing disaster recovery with replication, storage and networking integrations. You've got to make sure all of those are going to play nicely in the sandbox with whatever that new solution is.
Yeah, and then One thing I know is most people that have all the certifications and they know everything about certain like VMware or whatever program, they're like not super excited about learning the newest piece of technology, right? So what are there things in place that can help people make that jump? What would you recommend for that?
Yeah, so a lot of companies are offering free training or training credits, discounts on training credits to get your staff moved over. And not every solution is as complex as VMware was. Depending on what your requirements are, you might be better off going to a solution that's a lot simpler to use and might not have as big a learning curve. So much like the car analogy again, do you need an automatic or a stick shift, or are you going to have to go to CDL training and really upgrade your skill sets?
Absolutely. What I've seen a lot of people also want to do is, they keep the most of the operations internally in-house, but some of the bigger picture stuff that, since it's a new solution, they may not have the expertise in yet, they're outsourcing with someone, again, shameless plug, like Vista IT Group, to help them down that road, right? What about some of the features? Obviously, you said VMware doesn't do everything. No one does everything. So what are some key features or things that you need to keep in mind as you, again, go down this journey?
Yeah, so the biggest thing you're going to need to keep in mind, especially, is the higher end things like automation. If you're doing anything with software-defined data center type activities, your business continuity and disaster recovery solutions, your backup software, those kind of things. And back to the original point, you need to know what it is you need, what you want, and what you're willing to pay for.
Absolutely. So in wrapping up too, right, a lot of people, public cloud, right, it's a buzzword, everyone wants to know about it. Is that a good solution from the on-prem virtualization stacks that a lot of people have right now, or where would that play in this conversation?
Yeah, so infrastructure as a service in the public cloud, whether it's Google or Microsoft or Amazon, it's going to be more expensive than running on-premise still, even with the price hikes. In the on-premise virtualization bowl of fruit, this is a green bean casserole. It's not at all the same thing, but it is an option. If you're going to move to cloud, we strongly recommend doing it as a modernization effort where you're actually re-architecting your applications to take advantage of software as a service and platform as a service.
Absolutely, and a lot of people go out there because they think they're getting cost savings, but I just saw Michael Dell post something on LinkedIn a couple days ago that talked about how so many people are coming back on-prem because the pricing is really unpredictable.
The pricing is unpredictable because it's usage-based, and a lot of organizations don't have a good handle on what the usage is. But if you don't re-architect your solutions, you're moving what you already have out there, and running a server in somebody else's data center is always going to be more expensive.
Absolutely. So in close up, right, what are some things, okay, this is great information, we're talking really high level here, I know, but what are some good next steps that will help me make this decision?
Yeah, so we have a blog post that should be up on the website as you're watching this.
Yeah,
that
link
goes
down
into
below.
a little more tactical detail, comparing scale computing, Nutanix, Azure Stack, solutions like that against each other subjectively, just to give you an idea of what some of those offerings are, how they compare to each other on a number of different factors. You can also reach out to us. We can do some conversations. There are some live free assessments that we can do just to help size and help you talk through what those new things are. And if you're large and complex, then we can also do paid engagements and really take a deep dive to lay out that roadmap for what you should do and how to get there.
Absolutely. Again, feel free to reach out to us. What's nice is that we're able to give you a brand agnostic idea of what a good solution would be, because we're not going to shove a square peg into a round hole. We want to make sure that we get the best solution for you, right? And we also are going to dive a little bit deeper into some of the other options coming through. So we're looking at doing a conversation with HPE on Azure Stack and some of their options coming up here in October. November, we're going to do something with scale computing, and then we're going to keep kind of growing that. But the links to those will be below. Also, if this is past then, we're going to post recordings for you as well. But with that, again, thanks for joining us here today. We enjoyed the time with you and look forward to getting to talk to you in the future.